In 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It is your boy Cali Mac on the track. Never whack, bring it back. I am here with the Straw Hat crew, and this is Strawhat Sitdown, episode 2, baby. Oh! All right, joining us today, we got my boy Blackhawk.
Yo, what's good, Joe? How y'all feeling today?
Sir, yes, sir. Got my boy Kite in the building. Kite, want to say something?
Nah.
All right, good talk.
Nah.
Like the second time in a row.
Yeah, we also got my boy Mr. G in the building. What's good, bro?
Hey. What's good, everybody?
Tipping the straw hat. You love to see it. We also got my boy Straw Hat Mod in the building. First time. What's good, brother?
What's good? What's good?
Oh. And of course, finally, last but not least, my boy yHuss in the building. What's going on, man?
You know what the fuck going on? What's good, yo?
Oh, we are out here. Strawhat Sitdown, episode 2, baby. We out here. We're gonna do a little bit of more discussing on One Piece current state of affairs. We missed last week. I was in Philly at NEC, but we had to secure the bag. By any means, it has to be done sometimes, feel me? But yeah, y'all looking forward to chapters? What did y'all think about the chapters? Quickly, what did y'all think about the last 2 chapters?
Well, these two chapters, they definitely go in hand in hand perfectly. So I'm glad that we're doing both of them at the same time.
Exactly. We definitely got blessed by the fact that you were going.
Because they ended up flowing into each other, right? Yeah, because they ended up flowing into each other anyway, so it all ended up working out. You gotta respect it. Real quick, before we do the chapter reviews, we have 2 new voices from last week. Feel me? So what we did last week was we went through individually the moment in One Piece that we realized we were hooked to the series, right? And since we have Straw Hat and Kite here who weren't here last week, I want to ask them, what was the moment that you guys realized you were hooked to One Piece? Straw Hat, you go ahead, start.
So I already told some of the guys this already, but like for me, I guess it was the Baratier arc because
Really?
because
That's what I said.
Yeah, he did. Invested that. I said that shit yesterday too. We were like, what? It was like, it's weird because everybody else was on Water 7, feel me? But I mean, not Water 7. Arlong Park. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So I guess if like I'm not trying to go to a whole breakdown about it, but like basically it was like the first time I felt like the stakes really I really felt like the powerful messaging and stuff that was in that arc, especially when it like, not to say that no other part was like dark, like the Usopp arc was somewhat dark and stuff like that, but that because I already told some of the guys like I got into it through the anime first. So when the anime version showed like the Sanji backstory and stuff like that from back then, and how Zeph lost his leg and stuff like that, and how he
That shit hit.
Yeah, it really hit. And then I had to go back and read it in the manga, and that was even way. So it was like, whoa.
The Sanji stuff was all dope, and then to top it off, you had the Zoro versus Mihawk fight, which was also
easily. So like it was just
I gotta respect that.
Like and also like I am very much big into like I said, power scaling and stuff like that in One Piece, and like in just general like shows and anime and stuff like that. So I felt like when Mihawk was introduced, that really gave like very strong perspective of like how crazy the Grand Line is, like and that
that was a start.
Yep, it was the first instance of the real power in One Piece. Well, what they were aiming towards,
right? Cause like I was like Luffy and Zoro were casually foddering people, and then like here comes Mihawk casually foddering Zoro.
Yep.
Like,
with a not even pocket knife.
Yo, my man just came on a log, came through a log, sliced the whole boat, and was like, I'm just chilling, like casually just coming through, and then just fucking shit up.
The shit was in my way. You gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta respect it.
I was nuts.
That's definitely a respectable. I definitely can respect the reasoning behind why you got hooked that moment. Respect.
And
What about you,
that's an
Kite? Go ahead, bro.
that's an early moment too.
Y'all won't believe this, but it was actually all the way in Dressrosa is when I actually got hooked to One Piece.
Really?
Wow.
Because
oh,
I
so
was
late.
until then I was like a casual One Piece fan. Until I didn't like go super analytical like I do now. Like you guys know I do now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until Dressrosa with the Doflamingo fight. And it was just like that shit was just cool because Gear 4.
Yeah.
But before then, like, because I stopped watching One Piece. I only had watched One Piece, and then I stopped watching it because of Dressrosa. And then I read Dressrosa. My homie got me like 2 years later to read Dressrosa, and I was like, yo, I was missing out. I was definitely missing out.
He was like, this is it.
Yeah,
I understand now.
Yeah.
It's understandable. The anime prolonged Dressrosa so much because.
Oh yeah, no,
it's
Dressrosa
catching up
is
to the
actually the
manga.
worst arc of all time in terms of pacing.
I will say,
Yeah.
even reading the manga weekly, it was kind of tough.
It was. Definitely.
Yeah, I was sure on a weekly basis it was definitely a lot harder than just powering through the whole thing.
But yeah, like once you get through it, that shit's golden. Great arc.
100%. All right, respect. We got our two newcomers' most memorable moments, the moments they got hooked. We're all caught up now, and I guess we just get right into the chapter review already.
So sweet.
All right, so I'm gonna start with chapter 1030. I'm gonna do a very brief overview of what happened in the chapter. If anything that happened that you guys want to talk about, if I missed anything that you want to stop and bring up real quick, feel free to stop me and let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna just keep it rolling. Chat, I'm gonna be into the discussion, so I'm not gonna be looking at y'all, but I appreciate all the love, follows, subs, all that good shit. All right.
I got you. I got the chat up in the corner over here. I got you.
All right, bet. Boom. So, chapter 1030. Very, very exciting chapter. We started out with Apu and Drake in a tidbit of a discussion. Apu trying to get Drake to come to his side, which is neither on Kaido's or the Alliance's side. They're kind of just in the middle trying to figure out what to do. That's what Apu's doing. Drake, kind of skeptical, but he's there. The three numbers are there, and at this point, we don't know what they're plotting. Speaking from chapter 1030. Afterwards, we cut to Usopp and Nami. They're moving through the castle. They run into Kinemon's lower half of his body, bleeding and running all over the place. They stop him. Nami traces the Kazuki clan insignia into Kinemon's leg, and Kinemon recognizes that they're, part of the alliance or whatever. And he tells them that Kiku's still in the attic area and she still needs saving. So Usopp heads over there. Nami's got Tama, and then we cut to finding out that since we saw from Kinemon's legs, he's still alive. He's out here. The slice from Kaido actually didn't kill him for whatever reason. Well, we know what reason. Yeah.
What did you guys think about that? Real quick.
I actually hope that Kiku and Kinemon actually do die.
I do think Kinemon will die.
I actually need them to die for their character arcs, because like what is left? What is left for them?
Yeah,
not much at all.
Nothing. They're just gonna be like, they're gonna be finished characters at that point. Like there's no point for them.
I definitely agree with Kite. Like, especially like if there wasn't that whole thing where Kinemon saved Shinobu and but like just gave some time to Shinobu and Momo when Kaido came. Like, if it wasn't for that whole thing, and then Kiku's. If you go back and you read what Kiku was saying after Kanjuro stabbed her, like, it's actually fucking comical if she lives now. If you go back and read that, because like she was saying the most poetic, like,
last words kind of shit. Like, it was amazing.
So she was saying all that, and Kiku's one of my favorite scabbards. Like, I really rate her. So, and it would be fucking legendary for her to go out and battle like that. But I really hope they do. But I'm hoping, like Kite said, they do go out. But I'm wondering now. So if Oda wants to do that, which I don't think he does, I think he's gonna at least let Kiku live, maybe. But if Oda wants to do that, then maybe the point of this is to get Usopp to go somewhere and do something else in the raid, right? Because Kinemon is leading Usopp somewhere, so maybe that's how it's gonna be the plot.
I'm pretty sure Kinemon is leading Usopp to the storage room with Kiku.
Yeah, where Kiku
because he wants to. Because he said he has someone there that needs saving.
Yeah, that's definitely where he's leading him. So I'm wondering like, what's gonna happen for Usopp there? If that's if like Kiku and them actually die, you know what I'm saying? Because if he just had to save them, it's pretty whack. I can't lie, but yeah, I hope they fucking die. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
see, I was gonna bring this up after the chapter review, but since we're actually just talking about it now, what I was going to say is, do we get a permadeath in Wano? And if we do, who is it gonna be?
Well, I mean, most likely, it's, like we said, Kinemon or Kiku.
Right, because
But,
we've been getting pump fake all through our while. I think the last permadeath we got was Pedro.
Yes.
It was the guy Yasue when the
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. It was Yasui. Yes, that was the old man.
Oh, yeah,
that ate
yeah.
the small fruit. That sacrificed himself.
What about the big guy, the big scabbard, the one with the pink hair? I forgot his name.
we don't even know if he's dead, bro.
Yeah, we don't know
Yeah,
if he's dead yet.
yeah, he
We didn't
blew
see a
up
body,
to save
yeah.
himself. So,
Okay.
but we don't even know if he's
Yeah,
dead.
you can't-
I
you
bet he is
can't.
though.
I don't think we
Yeah.
can trust it until we see a body with Oda, bro. Because Oda has pump fake time and time and time and time again, bro.
That is fair.
Right. I think personally, I think that if Kinemon is going to die, I personally would prefer if he saw Momo as he is right now as Oda before that happens, because I would find that really weird if he did die before Momo was like, before he saw Momo fully grown or anything like that.
Realized,
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
like, honestly, like now that Momo is older, I feel like, you know, he's gonna clearly take the throne of Wano and stuff like that. But he still has the mind of a child, so he's still gonna need some guidance. At first, I thought maybe some of the Scabbards will still be alive, maybe like Kinemon or whatever. But if they do die, so I mean, someone has to remain to help Momo through that. So I just like I
still
would.
got. You still have it.
I disagree with that. I feel like it would be better if someone wasn't there for Momo.
Really?
Because like his whole story has been like living up to Odin, like living up to his father's like name, you know what I mean? And we see time and time again where like he doesn't want like his hand to be held, or like he kind of like, he's a kid, so like he kind of needs his hand to be held, but like he doesn't really like it, right? And even when before, when he's talking to Shinobu, like, yo, like I need you to, you know, make me older, right? Like he doesn't want to be useless, right? And then that's what that whole Kaido moment, when he got kidnapped by Kaido and Kaido was talking shit, like, damn, like this the son of Odin.
Yeah,
this is it.
yeah.
So
I
I feel like
actually kind of disagree with that, and the only reason why I disagree with like for Momo's character arc, I actually believe that Momo is supposed to come into his own character outside of his father.
right, that's the whole point. So like I feel like, sorry to cut you off, but like I think if someone was left to like hold his hand even when he's like trying to become, you know, live up to his father's name, like I feel like that would just go against what Oda's trying to say.
Well,
I don't think that's what he's trying to say though. I think he's saying like he want Momo. They should at least Momo should at least see him once. Maybe Kinemon's dead body, or have Kinemon. What you're trying to say is have Kinemon see Momo in how he is now, you know, and then like maybe die afterwards. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I think that would be fine. I just don't like Kinemon should just not stay.
Yeah,
I feel like he's just fulfilled his role.
He just gotta die. He just gotta go.
Yeah,
Because
like his whole goal was to bring the Dawn to Wano, or like to find, you know,
the
bring the Dawn to Wano, right?
I feel you on that, but I feel like if we get pump fake, we're gonna get pump fake. Then Kinemon's gonna be the only one that lives. It's gonna be Kinemon and Momo. Piku's gonna die. Scabbards are probably gonna get clipped up, but you know, I could be completely wrong.
I think it's just that like for okay, for example, Odin, he was actually not like, he was a leader, but he wasn't like a leader in the sense of like collectivism, for the sense of like looking out for Wano. He did everything by himself, or he was trying to shoulder everything by himself. I believe that Momo's character arc is supposed to be the opposite of that of Odin. So he doesn't live up to Odin's name. He lives up to like his own name, because that's why Kaido is always hammering onto him, like, who are you? Like, who are you? And at first, if you remember, when Momo was younger and Odin was trying to tell him like, you're my son and all this other stuff, when Kaido confronted him the first time, his thoughts were a lot different than his thoughts at this current time, because before he had like his father in mind. Now, I mean, of course he still has his father in mind, but now he's more like, okay, I know who I am. I am coming to my realization of who I am, despite all the shortcomings I have and everything. And that's, in my opinion, that's way different than Odin, because Odin, he's like, oh, I'm gonna shoulder everything by myself, despite all these shortcomings and everything like that. I don't need help or whatever until it was too late to have help and all that other stuff. So, and that's where I feel like Momo is different, because he's okay with having help. He's okay with being around. So that's why I actually do think that he should have someone beside him, because it was where Odin would do things by himself, Momo would have someone beside him to help him. And that's where the contrast between the two, because Odin, he didn't technically trust the Scabbards enough to to help him on his journey. He just tried to help everybody else out, whereas Momo, he will collectively bring everyone together. That's in my personal opinion
I agree, but my question becomes couldn't we argue that the difference Momo has there in terms of being accepting for help and asking for help already came in that big moment on Zou, when
I was about to say that.
Yeah, Kinemon and them were asking Luffy to help, and Luffy says, "Nah, I'm not helping you guys."
And you needed Momo to say,
"Yo, Momo, this is these are your mans. Are you a figurehead or are you the Shogun?
Yep.
So we could, in a sense, we could say him asking Luffy for help is the big difference in how what I'm trying to say. But I do think that having those Scabbards there is important to him. But I also think that bro, Oda has to just stop pump faking us, man. It's actually a really I think it's actually.
But that's always been a thing in One Piece.
That's literally just One Piece, bro.
I'm not saying
that's never gonna stop, bro.
But here's the thing.
He doesn't like killing off characters.
Yo, Kite, I get it. I get it. And there's proof of that. Because even before Kinemon and Kiku got smoked, mans were like, "Are they really dead though?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
But the point is that although we definitely expect it, and it's been a thing. That almost makes it worse, because going down the line, bro, when we saw at this arc, when people are in dangerous situations, when people are face to face with death, and we see their emotional or sacrificial moment, when we talk about that and we see that in a chapter, we're always gonna have it in the back of our mind, is Oda pump faking us? Do I bite on this one? Do I jump?
That's true.
And I think it's actually a flaw of his. Oda's the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? But I really think he has to stop pump faking us. I don't think he will. So I still hope Kinemon and Kiku die. But I think that the emotional moment of his death could be huge for Momo. You know what I'm saying? Where he sees, I agree with what Mista was saying, where if he sees him towards the end of the raid, and he's like, "Momo, I'm so proud of you," blah blah blah. That could be big time. But Oda wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to have the emotional moment of Kite of Kinemon saving Momo and them, but he doesn't want to kill Kinemon.
Yeah.
So I think in this certain debate, we just have to wait to see if Kinemon and Kiku fucking bite the dust.
Yeah.
We're never gonna, we're never ever gonna know until it happens. So
yeah, exactly.
That's crazy to me.
You guys both bring up really good points, and I so.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was good. That was good.
Just wanted to point it out real fast, that if a character death is what you wanted, don't forget, we still praying for Law to die. Remember?
Law's not dying, bro.
We can talk about that. I had thoughts on that too. All
right, let's get through the chapter review first.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's get through the review first, and we can talk about that shit after. Yeah.
Speaking of pump fake, this is the third time we've been pump fake with Kanjuro, if he's dead or not.
Right. Yeah.
It looks like he's finally dead. Wait, that's 130, right? That's 130.
Yeah, we still in 1030.
Yeah, it feels like this is it, because Kanjuro's character is kind of weird, because I guess that's the whole point, where he's supposed to be a chameleon, where he just adapts, he's an actor, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's kind of
kind of
an anomaly, right?
Yeah, he basically takes on whatever role he's given. So going back to the chapter review, right after we see Kinemon, we see Kanjuro, and he's given some last words from Orochi. You know what I mean? You are the heir of the what was the name of the clan?
Kurozumi.
Yeah, the Kurozumi clan, and you have to avenge your name in this one last attempt. and he's given that last role, and he acts it out. You know, just like we said, he's a chameleon, and he acts it out in this last drawing mass of burning ink, or whatever it is. You know, just moving around the castle, blowing stuff up.
It's like an ink flame kind of situation.
Hazenbo.
Hazenpo, is that the name of it?
Yeah. Okay.
I'll point out that I don't know if you guys remember the chapter where you know, they reveal that Kanji was a traitor or whatever, or they talk about how Orochi said, "Oh, you're a Kurozumi, you know, you have to take on this role for life." You know, they don't show the traitor. They don't show who it is. They just show this little black blob. I don't want to. I'll try to find the picture, but the blob that they show Kanjuro as when Orochi is giving him his mission looks very similar to this little fire thing, the ghosty fire thing. So
really. Oh, I know what you mean when they were describing him.
Yeah.
Before they revealed who the traitor was, and they were just describing him, and he was a black blob with like white eyes, and I remember that.
Yeah,
wow, that's a good catch. I actually didn't even think about that. It literally looks exactly like the blob that he created. So it might be like a projection of himself or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I would explain a lot.
But you know what I liked about this though? Because remember when we first met Kinemon and Momo at where was it? At Punk Hazard, right? What was one of the major villains of Punk Hazard? The big blob of fucking poison, right?
Yeah,
This is kind of reminding me of that. Like, it's coming back, like, with the big blob type of fire monster type of thing, too.
Yeah, it's definitely similarities.
I like that.
To end, you know, like, their journey together, like, how they started it, just how they're gonna end in the type of way.
Because that's where they started.
That's kind of
I respect that. Facts. Alright, so yeah, Kanjuro drew this giant, massive whatever, and it's moving through the castle, just burning everything up. And from here on, we just kind of go into everybody else in the castle's fights and things. We see Momo trying to slow down the island from the outside with the small clouds. He's doing his thing. We see Marco. We see Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji versus their respective enemies. We got a nice panel, a shot of that on the page. Everybody's doing their part. We then cut to Yamato, who's trying to make it to the basement to do something about the weapons, which would cause even more damage than the damage that's already bound to happen.
And Callie, before you continue, you also one thing that they showed was CP0 going after Brook and Robin.
That was another thing that was happening as everybody was fighting. CP0's on their move, they're making their move and everything. Yamato's making her way to the basement as she sees Big Mom's attack, which just pierces through Kid's metal, whatever. You see Kid's metal in the beam or whatever, and we cut to Big Mom fighting Law and Kid. They're not looking too hot, but they decide to use their trump card, and this is probably one of the sickest parts of the chapter. Is the sickest part of the chapter, and may end up being one of the highlights of Wano. We finally see awakenings outside of the normal ultra substance thing, you know what I mean? This is a whole nother deal. We see Law use his awakening Kroom, which is, I'm gonna call EX Room, but it's literally, he takes his EX Room, he coats his sword with it, which is, we get a really cool shot of him putting the sword through whatever the substance is, and he stabs Big Mom, which does no damage. The stab itself does no damage, but he creates shockwaves inside of her body, and it causes internal damage. Real quick, I want to ask how y'all feel about that, because I was a little bit confused on how it relates to his fruit, or how that would work necessarily, you know what I'm saying? Or what exactly, how do you guys think the Kroom works?
I consider it kind of like because his whole devil fruit is about controlling the space that he's in that little room. So I think of it as like he's holding the room in his hand, and wherever that situation is, like for Big Mom, it's like her throat, no neck kind of situation. He's controlling that where it is. So while the stab did nothing, the rest of like the after effects from the stab, like the shockwaves, are like what happens in the room after, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I interpret it as yeah, like you just said, the stab didn't do anything, but he basically incisioned a room inside her.
Yeah,
I
it's like
see.
Controlled the room
It's
to
like
do stuff.
constantly
I actually,
opening and like.
that I like that. I like that. That actually,
Yeah.
because I was a little bit confused when I first read it on how it operated compared to how his power normally works. You know what I mean? Because this is a whole new level of awakenings. We haven't seen awakenings like this before in the series at all.
Not at all.
So yeah, I was a little bit. The way you guys interpreted it actually makes a lot of sense to me.
An interesting thing about that, about Law's Awakening in particular, is that that's the second time we see someone apply their Devil Fruit to a weapon. The first time is Whitebeard.
He applies his.
Yeah, he uses the Tremor Fruit. I don't know if maybe it was an anime.
Oh, you're right. You're right. He did have the orb around his staff or whatever.
Yeah, it was like
I'm tripping. Look, I've been looking at this panel all wrong. I've been thinking that the ball is in his hand and he stabs the ball, and that's what happened. I wasn't looking at it as he coated the sword in the.
Yeah, he coated it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he coated it.
Like Zoro does with Haki, and he stabbed her, and the ball stayed inside her. So when he pulled the blade out, the ball did all the work. That's
is that in the? Wait, I gotta go back and look at the chapter real quick.
Yeah, so when you look at it, he says anesthesia, and when you see him stab her, when you see him go for the stab, the coat of the room is on the sword. When it comes out the other end, it's not there.
I didn't even. That's a great catch. I didn't even see that.
Yeah. If we didn't talking, I wouldn't have noticed.
Wait, Blackhawk. To me, it looks like that when he stabs her at the bottom of the page, it looks like it's still coated in it, to me at least.
I mean, actually, you're right. It might be. I think what it is what we were talking about is a combination of that and what I just thought of.
Yeah, I still think it's long as
the room itself is shaking, but she doesn't feel the stab. She just feels the shake from inside, which is
whatever
oh
he's doing.
God, that's disgusting to think about. Can you imagine getting stabbed and not feeling the stab, but then just randomly from the inside of your body you start shaking, like tremoring? That sounds crazy.
Dude, he just did some serious internal damage to her. Like that's her internal organs and shit, bro.
And the angle to which he hit her is like right in the neck, the vocal area. So it's trimming from like the throat, the esophagus down.
I think
that's wild damage.
Law's the first person to make Big Mom bleed from an attack, I think.
Yeah, she was definitely hurting. Has anyone else made her bleed?
I thought she did in Whole Cake.
Nah, what happened in Whole Cake was that she was just like, I think, slightly bruised because
like her knees, right? Because that was their plan.
And she did that to herself. So
yeah. This might be the actual first real damage we've seen Big Mom take.
And it's crazy. Oh yeah, like it's crazy because like when I first seen that, I was just like, I was amazed too because I actually called it. I said like, if Law and Kid are going to have a chance, because of the fact they didn't show them with Conqueror's Haki coding or anything like that, I said the best bet would probably be something like Awakenings or something.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, Law did just witness Awakening fighting against Doflamingo too. So he was probably like afterwards, like, all right, I got to figure how to do this shit.
Do you are you guys I really wanted to know, how do you guys feel, because I saw this being talked about in the One Piece community. Some people were upset that Oda off-screened them learning Awakening, or how do y'all
that
feel?
doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I think people need some perspective in that Oda has literally off-screened almost every single power-up ever except for learning.
Actually, I didn't even think about that, but every single power-up has been off-screen.
Literally, Diablo Jam, Basura, Gear 2, Gear 3, even Gear 4 has been off-screen. We never see them do it. Like, we never see them train for it. Except for the time skip, of course, but we don't even see what Luffy does to get Gear 4. Right. So, like, that's just One Piece to me. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a bit, like, almost a bit anticlimactic. Like, it did kind of come out of nowhere, and they just casually talked about it. They're like, buddy, you got Awakening, right? He's like, yo, hell yeah, So I think I was glad that Kite brought up the battle of Doflamingo with Dressrosa, because I remember one of the big things for me was the chapter where, bro, it ended with Luffy saying Gear 4, and that was like the end of the chapter, and I fucking lost my mind, right? We all did. So I think maybe it could have been a bigger thing. Like it could have been a bit more like climactic and like a big moment, but it still was crazy. They both used awakening. We haven't seen like Callie said, we only saw Doflamingos and Katakuris, which are substances, and these guys are more so concepts. So, very big moment.
So my point of view on the awakening, at least this specific one, is that realistically, if you kind of just think about Law's devil fruit, I don't even really. I wouldn't even say this is like it is an awakening, but like it's one of those where like if you just use your power enough, you'll kind of like figure a way to incorporate this kind of thing in. You feel me? Like, look, hear me out. Like we said earlier, his power is to control the room in his little space, right? So if you can create the space, manipulate it to however you want it to be, and you can put it on something, putting it on a sword isn't that far of a stretch. You feel me?
Yeah. I honestly think it actually is a far stretch, and the reason why I say this is because before, remember rooftop piece where
I was gonna bring up what you're gonna bring up.
Yeah, like so like when Law he said he couldn't really room Big Mom or Kaido because their hockey's too strong. Maybe this gets around that.
Yeah. So okay. You're right.
So to me, this
and
is
you can't do it too long either. So
yeah, so for me, this is a big step because he can actually now room is just cost.
That point completely like skipped, like went out the left side of my mind as I was trying to like make up an excuse for another one.
Callie said EX room, yo, for real.
Yeah, like literally.
It's like this shit is EX room. It's crazy.
Yeah. Respect. All right, so Law uses the EX room. He finesses. Right after that, Big Mom's angry, furious. She's ready to beat Law down, and Kid comes up from behind. Kid's awakening is a lot more easier to interpret. Just touches her, makes her magnetic. Every piece of metal within a certain radius comes flying at her at dangerous speeds, including the steel beams in the walls and pillars of the castle. Everything just comes crashing in at her in punk clash, and that is the end of chapter 1030. Kid's Awakening was cool too. I can't lie. Kid's Awakening was sick.
Yeah, that was dope. That was really dope. That was a clear thing that he did, right?
Yeah,
like
it was a lot. It was
attributed her.
Mm-hmm. And it was visible damage. Like you could tell, like that shit hurt. You know, like
she got a tower full of metal. Like that's
crazy. And it's the second time that someone tells Law to get them out of there, and he's like, "Yo, don't tell me what to do." Because Luffy did the same thing when they were fighting earlier.
Yep, Law has a history of telling people to not tell him what to do. I read a comment. I'll be watching the YouTube videos for One Piece and stuff, and I actually read a comment that made me laugh. It said that Law is gonna be in a position where he has to use his ultimate ability and sacrifice his life to give Luffy the immortality, right? That's the common theory. But the funny part was that Luffy was gonna be like, "No, you can't," and Law was gonna be like, "Don't tell me what to do."
Damn.
And then do
that. That would be sick.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
It was funny, but it would also that would shed a thug tear. That would make me shed a thug tear. I cannot lie.
That shit would
Word.
So it's funny because if we had not waited for the next chapter, the question would be like, what do we think this did to Big Mom? Like, is she done? Like, how much? But we get to see she has a lot more in the tank.
Right. Of course, she's still here. And let's just go right into the next chapter. We'll run through it real quick. Chapter 1031. We jump right back into the action. Law and Kid discuss a little bit. Law asks, how much magnetism can you use? Kid doesn't want to give out his info. Big Mom's back. We know she's back. She wasn't dying. She can't die yet, unfortunately. As much as we're tired of seeing her, she's still here. And she decides to start using some of her powers too. She starts getting a little serious. She takes the souls of the warriors and stuff around her and gives life to a whole bunch of inanimate objects around the area.
The homies, yeah.
Yep, the homies. She raises an army of homies. And she uses a year of her own life expectancy
to power them up
to make herself and them stronger, and she makes herself bigger. She's now a monster of a monster. She was a monster before, but now she's a monster of a monster. Huh?
Show that picture real quick if you can, because she looks crazy right now.
Of her?
This panel is crazy.
I can't tell if she's actually giant size now or not.
She's huge.
Technically, like before her original size, she was technically smaller than a giant, but still obviously super duper large. But
Yeah.
here I can't
no, I
tell
think
if
she's
she's
giant
like.
size.
I think now she's probably bigger than the
Pretty
smallest
safe
giant.
to call it.
I think she's definitely bigger than at least the smallest giant in this.
There we go.
It's crazy.
Because this panel makes her look fucking enormous.
Yo, she was grilling these niggas, bro.
Yo, demonic.
Look
Look
at
at
her
the eyes. About to do that. Just about to bring up the eyes, bro.
I love the eyes in that.
Prometheus and what's his name? The sword Napoleon, I think.
Napoleon and Hera,
Yeah,
they all look OD.
crazy. Napoleon looks massive. I'm like, why?
This is a sick
they got
shot.
the
And then you just see
Rinnegan
Lo
eyes,
and
bro.
Kid looking like
eyes.
David versus Goliath in this shit.
Oh, Napoleon's shape
Oh,
change. He
neat.
has like 2 ridges on the back of his head. On the
Yeah.
back. Like,
Oh yeah, he got
Yeah.
like a little more slash
I
power
just
now.
noticed that for the first time. Yeah, he has the Rinnegan eyes. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All like Napoleon, Hera,
Oh yeah,
Prometheus,
they
they
all the
got
homies.
Rinnegan
Yeah,
eyes.
wow.
And I
Yeah.
said Zeus. I forgot. I meant Hera. Like, cause,
Yeah, 'cause Zeus is with- yeah,
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 yeah. I'm
yeah,
still
yeah.
getting
No,
used
no,
to
no.
that.
Jesus, my goodness.
Yeah, that shit
Yo,
is
but she
sick.
getting
That shit was sick. That shit
serious
was
now,
sick. That
though.
shit was sick. I cannot lie. Yo, real quick, legendary prayer. Thanks for the host. Appreciate it, man.
Much
Ooh,
appreciated.
thank you.
Much love, much love. Everybody coming from the host, please
Right.
click on this link so your views can be counted towards my partnership goals. We are in a One Piece stream right now. If you are not caught up on One Piece, please get away now. This is your only spoiler warning. We are
Get outta
talking
here,
about the
please.
latest events in manga One Piece. You have
If you're
been
not
warned.
prepared, be gone.
You have been warned.
Exit
Alright.
stage is left or right. It don't matter. Just exit stage.
All right, that's it. Spoiler warning. Yeah, so we get that awesome shot of Big Mom, Law and Kid. You know, they give their spiel. We're not backing down. We're gonna win, etc., etc. You know, so we're gearing up for the second half of that fight.
Usual anime prototypes.
Yeah, we're getting ready for the second half of that fight. We'll see how that goes. We then cut back to the chamber where Drake is fighting Apu. Last chapter they were only talking, but now they're fighting. They're going through it. They're beefing now. Drake declines his invitation, and Yamato comes in at that point. She has a little skirmish with Drake, and then he tells her that, you know, then nobody's on Kaido's side anymore. You know, she's like, all right, cool, I'm out. I don't got nothing to do with none of y'all. After that, for some reason, one of the top 3 numbers in the room, Fuga? I don't know. Fuga.
Fuga.
I think it's Fuga.
Fuga. Okay.
Yeah, Fuga.
Okay. Fuga decides to attack Yamato.
Yep.
Yamato avoids it, starts running off. Fuka runs after him.
Let me stop you because I feel like I gotta bring this up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know. I think I know.
Strawhat already knows. Strawhat already knows.
Yeah, I know. I heard about this too. Go
Alright,
ahead.
so this is like, okay, so
You'll
last
probably
chapter,
appreciate the sub over here. Thank you.
so last chapter, they had showed, or was it 2 chapters ago? I don't know. They showed the numbers, right, with my man's. Actually, I'm never gonna call Apu my man's. Fuck that guy. They show Apu with the numbers, right? And
Keyboard t-shirt.
so they show him with the numbers, and the numbers, there are 3 of them. A big thing people were saying when that chapter dropped was that the numbers looked somehow a bit like the samurai in the cave with Yamato when she was a kid.
Wow.
The big fat guy had a wrapper on his head and with 2 horns. He had like a circular thing, and the thing has that one that looks like him has a beard on right here. The other guy, had the eyebrows that could be that one demon looking eyebrows, and he had the mustache with no beard, and again, so the head shape and everything. That middle number to me didn't look like the one dude who, you know, was talking to Yamato.
Yeah.
Who everyone thinks is Zoro's
Who's
dad.
thinking
Right?
Zoro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He personally didn't look like it to me. What do you think, Strawhat?
Oh no, I was trying to his name Usha.
Shimotsuki Ushimaro.
It's Shimotsuki. Yeah.
So personally, I didn't think he looked like it, but he did have like the hair, whatever. Maybe it's the same color. Who knows? But anyway, so that was the thing. Personally, I didn't really see it when I first looked at them. Kind of, I see the maybe a few features, but people were saying like, yo, it's so like it looks just like them. Like, there's no way you don't see blah blah. So this chapter, the number 1 or whoever which one the number was, that middle number had seen Yamato, and I think it was, if you look up, let me find it. Oh yeah, when Yamato's talking to Apu, that one middle number, there's a panel of him like kind of intrigued at Yamato.
Yeah.
So people are saying this is more credence, and he goes after her, right? So people are saying this is more credence that these numbers and these samurai were related. People think that maybe the ancient giant experimentation happened on those samurai, and those are now the numbers.
That would make sense.
That's what people think
Oh
happened.
god, he's there just looking at her.
So yeah, so that's a big theory. That's like one of the big theories that I just wanted to.
That is
No,
actually very interesting.
Also, and the
it can-
samurais are already big too. So yeah.
do you have a tweet or a picture of the comparison between the numbers and the samurai?
I'll get it for you right now.
Yeah,
I'll
if you
keep
can
it up.
find it,
That
word.
would be dope.
It's a pretty sick
That's
theory,
kinda
and I
crazy.
think it would be very sick too if it was them and they fought like it was them, but like as numbers, and it would make sense why they had the 1, 2, and 3 spot, because they would be the strongest numbers.
Right.
Yeah,
All the other ones.
Which also would bring the question as to what are numbers.
They're just experiments. Like,
yeah, they're like supposed to be fake ancient giants, the Auras
Yeah.
race. So
Okay.
they were the experiments to replicate that. I think we know that. Yeah, they're made on Punk Hazard as well. We know that.
So if that's the case, then they
They were experiments in the story yet? Or
Yeah,
is it
what's her
what
name?
everyone-
Big Mom said that, I think, in
Said they're
early on in the
experiments.
raid.
Okay.
well, that would bring a little bit of authenticity to the claim that they're the samurai,
That
right?
they
Because then
could
the
get the
samurai
samurais,
could have
yeah.
been experimented on and
I
turned
think she
into...
said specifically failed ancient giants experiment at Punk Hazard. So
That would be
Interesting.
that would be
Interesting.
dope.
That's an interesting theory. I haven't heard that.
Mhm.
All right. Well, the
You know the best part of the chapter?
yeah, the Yamato runs, the numbers running after him, everybody's chasing everybody. We see CP0 pull up to Robin and Brooke. They're getting there. We don't see much after that, but we do see that confrontation is coming and it's about to get crazy.
God damn it, I dropped my money.
We're also told that they're on another level, that they're stronger than normal, your regular run-of-the-mill
Right.
government agents or CP0s or whatever. They're in a whole nother level, you know?
Yeah, she said, and the exact wording is, even among the elites of the CP0, the mass agents are in a class of their own. So wait, real quick. So does this mean confirmed that these guys are stronger than Rob Lucci?
Yeah, probably.
maybe, man. Yeah, I
He
think
does
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
mask.
yeah.
He does have a mask though.
unless
He
Rob
doesn't-
Lucci got stronger.
Did Robert Lucci have a
Yeah.
mask?
I think he did.
was
I
he
never
wearing one
noticed
when
he
Andres
did.
Rosa? Because they show him like 2 or 3 times only. They show
Was he
him on Dress
wearing
Rosa.
one in the Reverie?
Nah, definitely
I
not.
don't
Definitely not,
remember
definitely
again.
not. I'm sure
He wasn't wearing a mask at the Reverie. I remember that.
But
Okay.
I will say, Straw Hat. Interestingly, he like on the phone call, it seemed like he was giving that nigga orders, right?
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, but like Nami,
But Robin
be giving-
says this, yeah.
Nami be giving orders to Luffy, but we know who's still the boss, right?
Facts. That's
Right.
facts.
So, like, I mean, sometimes, like, I'm pretty sure Rob Lucci has a very important role among the CP0, but I think these guys, I'm starting to believe that these guys might be stronger than him. I mean,
I can
Robin,
believe it, man.
I mean, it could be. I don't know 100%. I'm like, that's just my personal speculation, because Robin made it clear, like, even among the elite, the ones in the mask, those are like the cream of the crop. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
creme de la
imagine
creme. I
Lucci
agree.
is the elite,
that
and
way.
those are the guys. I don't know.
Shut stain and look stupid.
Yep. Oh, so we'll see how that develops. That should be very, very interesting. See what happens with that. And then we move on to the main part of the chapter. That boy Sanji-kun, man. That boy Sanji-kun. So we start.
Yo, that fucking guy.
That's why he's the GOAT!
Oh, it's a black eye.
Thanks.
Sanji-kun, the motherfucking go. Real quick, let me run through what happened. Sanji is with this woman who has been attacked, and it's made seem like he's done it. He runs into people who say, "How could you do that? She's just a woman," etc., etc. Sanji can't remember what happened. He thinks it's because of the German powers, and he has flashbacks to how his brothers hit women and how he doesn't want to be anything like that, etc., etc. And he's having a whole internal crisis, right? He can't remember what happened. He remembers her face being scared, and he remembers her being on the floor bleeding with a terrified look in her face, right? So he's trying to figure it out, and then he begins to have this whole internal conflict, this whole internal dialogue with himself. He wonders if this is the person that Luffy needs on his team. He wonders if Luffy wants the cold-hearted soldier who can hit female enemies and any other enemy that's in front of his path, or does he want the one that's useless against females and who is unapologetically himself? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't really know how to answer that for Luffy, but he knows what he needs to do for himself. He says, I've made up my mind, quote for quote, I've made up my mind. My dormant augmented abilities were awakened by wearing this thing, but it doesn't matter at this point. I'm not gonna lose any more of myself. I'll never belong to Germa. Smashes the can in a very cold panel. We see a whole bunch of fire explosions underneath Sanji's foot as he smashes it. And it's a pretty big moment. It signifies what some people in this call, cough, cough, were questioning that, Sanji was gonna be a sellout and,
Nah, they were
change
definitely.
ways.
They just made it even better. That's crazy.
Nah, yeah, they definitely finessed. Oda finessed. Real quick, but before let me just go through it, and then we can have a whole big discussion on it. He calls Sanji. He calls Zoro real quick. Zoro's in the middle of his fight with King. He calls Zoro. It's the coolest. This cool panel. We find out he hides the transponder snail in Zoro just in case he gets lost. You gotta love the Zoro Sanji dynamic. It's goated.
That's beautiful.
It's definitely goated. And it's further goated by their conversation. He says, if I lose myself to this power, if I'm no longer myself, I need you to end me. And Zoro's like, sure, I'm looking forward to it, so you better not die before then.
Nope.
Strengthening.
That's
You gotta love the
Fucking-
Zoro Sanji
that's
dynamic,
one of
man.
those.
It's so
Fucking
sick.
adorable, bro.
It's so sick,
really good.
man.
Jesus
Really good.
Christ.
Go to dynamic. Go to
Oda know
dynamic.
how to write a dynamic. I
Yep.
swear to you.
Sanji says thanks, ends the transponder snail call, and proceeds to just disappear and whip open a can of whoop ass on this boy queen. Uses a new move, Hell's Memories.
We saw Hell's Memories in Fishman Island.
Fishman.
Oh, really?
It's from the
Yeah.
when he trained on the Ivankov's Okama Kingdom or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like so on Fishman he was remembering the terrible time he had there. I think here, Queen is like talking about Germa and whatnot, and so I think the Hell's Memories for Sanji here that's like making the fire so hot is that he's remembering how much he fucking hates his family, and that's what's burning. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how I took it. I really.
That's how it was activated last time when he was reliving his.
It's like an emotional power up, like that you see in every anime.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because Sanji himself is a character who revolves around the emotions of the fucked up shit he's been through. Whether it be like his past life or even the things on Ivankov's island, which was crazy.
Well, the whole thing is that he has emotions when he wasn't supposed to. Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
And he like Queen was asking him like when this whole first I started with the German shit. He's like, yo, you can't set yourself on fire. Are you a Lunarian or some shit? And he said it's because my heart is full of passion, right? And I would be like so happy if that was the whole reason, like this some bullshit One Piece shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need it to be a Germa, what's it called? Enhancement or anything like that. If it was really him.
That's just Sanji. So
I would love it. I would be so happy with that person.
It's definitely a One Piece-esque explanation, so it could definitely happen for sure.
Yeah, I'll be mad happy.
I'll take that. That's all I needed, the explanation.
So yeah, fire 2 chapters. Fucking go to 2 chapters.
Go to 2 chapters. Y'all want to get in depth on the Sanji? How do you guys feel about the whole Sanji coming?
We gotta kick it to Kite for this one. We gotta kick it to Kite.
Kite, go ahead, bro. Kite, how you feeling, bro?
All right. At the beginning, I got mad scared because I rate Whole Cake Island very highly in One Piece. So I was mad scared. I'm like, yo, that was like the first, since Baratie, that was like the first Sanji arc that we got. So I was like, yo, you know what I mean? So I was afraid that they were just going to ruin the whole thing. But I like how Oda gave him a dilemma where it's like, all right, he even says it in the chapter. It's like, what does what does Luffy need right now? Does he need the old Sanji or does he need the cold-blooded Germa killer, right? Yep. So you kind of get Sanji's resolve in this chapter, or in 1031, where he destroys the raid suit, and it also shows like when he doesn't remember like if he hit the woman, and that was like his whole thing. That's like his gag. Like he just doesn't hit women, right?
Yeah.
So you have Oda writing Sanji to break his one rule of not hitting women, and he just I don't even know how to explain it. That, like, you put him in a dilemma. Like, what? Like, it's a 50-50. Like, did I do it or did I not? And I like how he keeps it ambiguous too. It's like he doesn't confirm it either.
Right.
So Sanji himself doesn't know, and we're also kept in the dark.
Right. I
So
think
that's when you get him calling Zoro, right?
yeah.
And that moment, that is actually the best moment in the raid so far, probably.
Really.
Where he
Jesus
calls
Christ.
Zoro and he's like,
I agree. I feel like
he's like, you know, are you gonna kill? Like, I want you to kill me if I'm not the same.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I feel like I do feel like him being put in that dilemma definitely helps break through that last little bit of the character, because we got a majority of the character fleshed out in Whole Cake Island, like you said, you know what I'm saying? But adding that last little bit of dilemma, which, like you said, shows his resolve and really shows, you know, his resolve and what he wants to do and what he needs to be for Luffy, you know what I mean? That definitely, I think that helps close a majority of his character arc.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but this is Sanji's equivalent to Zoro's Nothing Happened. Actually.
Yeah, I agree. I actually agree.
I like that. I like that.
I think honestly, it's so good when Zoro and Sanji when they have that moment at that chapter, because like in a way it's like only those two can relate to what the other person goes through. So it's so great that when Sanji contacted Zoro, like, hey, listen, man, look, I need you to put me down, because he knows like Zoro would probably I don't know if people will believe that if he actually will do it or not. That's a whole nother conversation. But the fact that Sanji, you know, just inherently trusts him to, you know,
something like that. Yeah. It shows a
The
lot.
thing is, Sanji wouldn't want Luffy to be the one to put him down. He knows that Zoro.
He knows Luffy wouldn't do it anyway. Yeah, Luffy definitely wouldn't do it
if it happens.
Yeah,
But I don't think we're ever in a situation where it will happen. I think we, just like earlier when we thought what's his name, the short little bastard died. I think we're getting pump fake here again.
Orochi?
Yeah, Orochi. I don't know why. I don't forget his name.
Yeah, we know for
I just
sure.
call him short little bastard. But what I mean is like, so do you guys remember earlier how Sanji got himself in this, not in this predicament, but like toward the start of the raid, I want to say, Sanji like separated himself from the group and just ran into a room of like nothing but females. And
because he heard a woman cry for help.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think we're in the same situation where he not heard a woman cry for help. Now, I mean, like, where we're in the same situation now, where what he's seeing in front of him is clearly fake. Like, he obviously didn't hit this woman. Come on. It's Sanji.
I mean, he doesn't know. He said he's saying that he blacked out.
Do you guys think he hit the woman? Do you guys think he hit her?
I don't know. I
don't
100%
believe so.
he did.
I was with Blackhawk, because I was thinking that she's a geisha, she's an act, you know, she could be an actress or whatever, and they're just messing with his head. But the fact that like there's those subtleties, like if you look at Sanji, his eyebrows are inverse now. They're like his family's.
Yeah. So like the swirl is here, but now like his brother just swirls on the outside.
Yeah.
And then look.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, that's a beautiful little like small detail.
So like I could believe that he is having these episodes of that he just does not remember what just happened, because things are accelerating in his body. But I mean, I like that he is now like giving up the women. Well, so he says, and like his Germa side, and he's gonna find his own way, you know, to get to what he has to for Luffy, because that's the whole point why they're there, right?
And I think like I don't think he hit her. But I wish he did. I'm not gonna lie. I wish he did hit that bitch, because like if he hit her, imagine what that means for him. Like, this shit is really fucking with him. You know, who he is the guy that's not ever gonna put a hand on a woman.
That's a big character moment if he punches a woman, bro. That's a huge character moment.
I don't think Oda's about that life, you know. But like, it would be sick if he did.
I actually don't think. I agree with Wise. Like, I actually think Oda is not about that life.
He's not about that life. But I think it would be sick if he did, though.
I actually think that would be OD for
unbelievable,
for
right?
He would have shown it. He definitely would have shown it, and not done it off.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, if we had seen that.
Yeah.
But it goes back to what Wiles was saying earlier, bro. Like he keeps pump faking us, bro. Like,
he's not gonna do it, bro. He's not gonna do it. So, like, but again, I will say though.
Go ahead.
I will say though, like Sanji, his whole thing, like throughout every single arc, he's like had a problem with. So for Whole Cake, and ever since, his thing is that he sticks by his ideals, right? His feeding niggas and being himself, and what he's learned. The only thing I feel like his character development has been trusting the Straw Hats and trusting people that he doesn't have to take everything on himself, right? But his whole thing is that his ideals are right. He just has to stick by them and trust. Yeah. So,
but that's why he's afraid of his Germicide.
Exactly, that's why he's afraid. He doesn't want to be someone he's not. So that's what I'm saying. Like, although I also could think it would also, I could see how it would be sick if he didn't, because that means that even though the German was influencing him, that he stuck true to not, hitting women. I think that could also be cool. I could see going both ways.
Yeah.
So I'll be cool with either.
So I guess the question is, how did she end up on the floor then?
Like Mr. said, she might be an actor. It's a plant, but I think maybe I heard like a theory that things that I read on comments is that she like ran into him or some shit like that.
I read that too. That she ran into him, and with his new body, she hurt herself.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But something like that maybe. But I think if he doesn't hit her, then it's gonna be weird how it happens. Whatever. Like no matter what happens, I feel it's gonna be weird. Unless like a plant or like or an act. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see.
I didn't think about that.
What if there was and try to entertain this. This might sound weird, but what if there was someone that looks like him there in some shape or form? Maybe like, see, in my mind, I have to go back and look at the chapter because he was not in the race suit, and I was thinking like if he was in the race suit or if he had the race suit on or whatever. What if someone from Germa, one of his brothers or siblings, got there, and they missed while his body was like, spazzing out or whatever, so clearly he couldn't remember. One of his Germa siblings was there, and I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's an OD stretch, bro. You stretching more than Luffy right now, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, kid.
Some people, because we still haven't got confirmation as to what happened to him. And I know people been wondering, like, what the heck happened to Germa? Like, are they coming? Some people, like, wonder because obviously, Whole Cake Island's like Sanji arc is continuing over here. So obviously, the resolutions and stuff that come with that would include like finding out what happened to German 66 and Sanji's changes, and maybe into some shape or form pudding because of her connection with the Third Eye tribe and the Poneglyphs and stuff, and Wano. So all that is tied up to here. So it's not too, for me personally, it's not too far of a stretch to see Germa come in some shape or form. And that now,
yeah, but I don't think it's right now,
probably, though. But I'm saying like in general though.
Yeah, no, I agree in general it's a possibility, but I don't think like right now like his brother was there and then that's why he's confused. I don't know, that seems too far.
I want to add that like narratively, I don't really think we would appreciate that, just because like this whole Sanji's like literally the entire fight is that he does not want to be helped by Germ anymore. He wants to be rid of them.
Yeah.
So
I think I got it. I think I got it after, because I went back to 128 just to be sure. So what happened to Sanji? I don't think he was just running. I think he was running from I fucking forget his name right now because I'm trying to put it together. But he was running from who he was fighting when he got hit, and whatever he got hit with was so like massive, it shot him in one direction, and the direction it shot him in was the room he woke up in. Because if you look at the panel of when Sanji's standing there talking to the girls, there's like a big ass hole in the wall, just there. And Sanji leaves out the other side of the room, which is a doorway. So what I think was, because he said he actually like felt the hit of what hit him before he got like blasted that way. So I think he got blasted through the wall. After coming through the wall, he hit the girl. It left him like a little unconscious or whatever for a bit, and he woke up to realizing I flew through a wall and hit a woman, but I don't know that's what happened. As far what he remembers is he was running away, and then so you get me?
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, like if like we had to see if like him like blacking out is more than just him like just being so preoccupied. Maybe he did get hit, or like maybe that definitely could be a thing. I could see that. But yeah, like this is one of those things where we're just gonna have to wait and find out if it's a big thing or
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he literally just went through the like wall, and that's just what happened, and he woke up on the other side.
Yeah, that would be fucking crazy. That's why I personally would. The thing is that however it happens is that I just want to know like, did this motherfucker do it, man? I wish he did, but I know he's not gonna. I know he's not about to.
And even though we all know that like, at the end of the day, Sanji will never ever hit a woman. The One Piece community will rave like, "Yo, Sanji hit a woman," even though he didn't really hit a woman intentionally. Like,
yeah, they'll do some stupid shit. So like, maybe, I think Oda will make it clear, one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't be, it's low-key Sanji's fault, but you know what I mean.
Blackhawk, real quick. It's on chapter 1029, and
I think it was 1028.
Queen doesn't hit Sanji. Sanji's still running away.
It's
After he gets shot by the guys, real quick. That's the last time you see him before they go to Big Mom and Kid. And Sanji gets shot, and he's like, that hurt. The next thing you know, Queen's after him, shooting at him with lasers, and Sanji's just running away. And then that's the last time we see him.
Yeah, I remember like that as well. Yeah,
I'm looking at the chapter now. Yeah, I think that's what I see too.
I'm looking at it as Sanji's got shot, and now he's running away. He turns to say that hurt, and then
to
throws all of that shit at
regular guns.
So in the panel after that, when Queen is like shown like with the explosions in front of him, what is that? Is that not him firing at Sanji?
That's him. He's shooting at Sanji, but Sanji's running away though.
We see Sanji after that.
Shit, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
no. Like I'm looking at the panel and I literally didn't see Sanji. I had to like super zoom in, and he really is running away.
And again, we see him again. Actually, we see him in last chapter when they show that like Luffy fighting Kaido, Zoro fighting King, and Sanji fighting Queen. Like we see them after that shot, so we know like that wasn't it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, also, real quick, the first time we see Rob Lucci post time skip in Dressrosa, he had a mask on.
Oh damn.
And he said in Dressrosa.
Yeah, because they come to like inspect like the weapons and stuff like that. Look what's going on with that, which is funny because we see like later on in Wano that CP0 is talking to Orochi about weapons.
Yep.
So maybe like, that's mad interesting. Maybe that's where it started. Who knows? That would be crazy. Callie, how are you feeling about Sanji, bro?
That's my boy, man.
He's the
my guy, man. I said from the jump, I was glad that he got his little power up, whatever. I didn't feel like it really affected his character too much. I wasn't too worried that, because, you know, I just trusted Oda, you know what I mean? And I feel like the way that it was going, there was no way that he was going to get this power up and, you know, turn into a cold-hearted machine, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I literally called it, right? We were in the Twitter chat. The chapter 1029, I think, when we first seen it, we were in the Twitter chat, and I was saying, I feel like this is just gonna end up being an internal conflict for Sanji. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no way I would be shocked if people really thought like he was gonna become like his brothers. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, he definitely couldn't. You know, and it just confirmed it in this last chapter. And Sanji had a sick ass badass moment. I'm ready for him to just.
It was so.
It was a couple. It was definitely a couple. I'm just ready for him to quick kick Queen's ass. I'm not gonna lie. We're getting towards the end of this whole raid, you know what I mean? And I think we're going to start seeing the climax of some of these fights.
Yeah, because all the other Strawhats are done.
Well,
it's the main one.
Everybody except for Robin and Brooke, because it looks like they're about to get into...
Yeah.
Well, but their fight with the Topi Ropo is already wrapped up though.
Their arc fight or whatever.
So now they're in phase
still
2.
don't. Yeah, but some people still haven't gotten like any fights. Chopper, Brooke, and Usopp. Those 3 still haven't gotten major fights. It looks like Brooke is about to do something with CP0.
Yeah.
And you know, right now everyone in the One Piece community thinks he's getting smoked right now. But
Hating on some
That's
Brook, man. This is the
the
man.
Mickelson right
This
now,
is
right?
the skeleton that went toe to toe with Big Mom. I am not taking no
Stop
Brook
playing.
slander, bro.
Yeah, Brook about to.
Brook
Brook about to
got.
wild out.
I
Brook is about to
honestly
wild
think
out.
Brook is the most underrated Straw Hat, bro. Like
He is
legitimately
definitely
most
underrated.
underrated. Like,
But I think the problem.
mhm.
Oh, I was just about to say, I think the problem with that, I think the reason why he's so underrated and people sleep on him is because he still has, to this day, has not gotten a major fight yet. Like, you think about it, like since Brook been here, he's not gotten one major fight, like not one.
He's just supporting, bro.
You
He's just a supporting cast.
you wouldn't count the Big Mom fight?
No,
This nigga serious? I thought you were kidding, bro.
And he stole the copies of the Poneglyph.
Like, okay,
bro.
So okay, the reason why I don't count, okay, in One Piece, and this is why I love One Piece, especially for the fights and stuff versus other shows. In One Piece, Oda likes to make character strengths and stuff seem kind of ambiguous until they get into a big fight. Like, for example, if you remember Katakuri when he was introduced in Whole Cake Island, and it was pretty clear that he was way stronger than Luffy. And in comparison, Luffy is stronger than like Sanji, right? But when Katakuri like tried to snipe Sanji, he completely missed him because of Sanji's keen observation hockey. And it's those moments where it's like it's ambiguous because I would consider them like relative in strength. Like, okay, you're not as strong as this person, but that person can't sleep on you. That's what I look at it like. So when it comes to Brook, I feel like Big Mom could kind of sleep on Brook. So
without a doubt, this not even a debate. I feel like
the discussion isn't like, oh, Brook almost beat Big Mom. Like, I'm not trying to say anything like that. You know what I mean? But Brook,
is that really like a
He wasn't
fight? Though? Like,
yeah, was it really like a fight? Yeah, I don't remember it being much of a fight.
Yeah, it was like kind of like just sleep. Like it was.
What happened, Callie?
Okay, you know what? You know what? I guess it wasn't a fight in the sense that Brook did get his ass beat and he didn't do any damage to Big Mom. So
Yeah,
I do understand that.
Wasn't it-
I guess I'm more thinking about the value that interaction gave to the Straw Hats.
Yeah, like there's big moments. There's big moments that don't have to be fights like that.
Yeah, between him stalling between him actually stalling Big Mom and getting the Poneglyph. Yeah, the copy of the Poneglyph.
Yeah, big time. Like so.
Yeah, that was a big dub for Brook in that sense. But
yeah, but in terms, I guess that's what I was relating it to. But I guess he didn't showcase much. He showed a cool soul power, but
he did.
It's hard to scale how strong it is against Big Mom because Big Mom is fucking Big Mom.
Yeah, it's just how. Yeah, it's just how.
Yeah, you know, I gotta see Brook win one, man. I gotta see.
Yeah,
Brook did hurt her at first though, with like her soul guys a little bit, you know. So like.
Yeah, I remember.
He completely smoked he made it so her what are they called again?
Homies.
The homies, yeah, the homies are nothing to Brook. They literally can't affect him at all.
Well, the only ones that were able to, I mean, he hurt a little bit was what he thought was her what Prometheus, right?
Yeah.
And like, but then he was like, oh, I can't control them because they're her soul. That she's too strong. But that's where we get Brook's whole speech on like one doesn't have a plan to die or some shit like that, and like saying that Luffy's going to be Pirate King. Like that was his moment. Like that shit was OD. Yeah. Like, and then the fact that later on he's the one that breaks the picture of Big Mom.
He came clutch. Yeah, he came clutch that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys can have big moments that aren't like, you know, like head-to-head clashes, you know.
Yeah, like he always be taking L's. I feel.
Yeah, but we'll have to see who fights because and one thing I think is that like there's no way people think that like CP0 is gonna take Robin, right? Like y'all have any like?
I hope that they don't.
Yeah, like I really hope they don't. Yeah, like because like we did that already, you know.
Yeah.
For one thing.
We don't need to do it.
And another thing that I remember on Zoe, Cat Viper was said to Robin. He's like, "Yo, big players across the sea are gonna come to find you, like eventually. You know, like you gotta be careful." And she's like, "I have strong allies to protect me." Talking about the Straw Hats, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. I really think it would be played out if that shit happened again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I highly doubt that it happens again. Oda doesn't do the same thing twice.
So yeah, I think I don't like if Brook steps up to help Robin. I don't see him getting smoked.
Yeah, I think that would definitely knock out two birds with one stone. It would handle the CP0 business, and it would give Brook his moment.
And another thing is that the Straw Hats are all gathering, right? They're all heading towards Life 4 all at once.
Yes.
I think it covers what Robin, because like before, on Zoe, she got told that people will be coming after her and stuff, and she's like, oh, don't worry, I got my friends, they're really strong and stuff, they'll protect me. This is that time where Brook is going to like step up and stuff. One, and then two, when people think that like CP0 is too strong for Brook, because I see that everywhere and stuff, like I don't see, like they don't see how Brook can catch it. Let me remind everybody that not Brook, but CP0 themselves they comparatively do not see how Luffy can defeat Kaido. So they clearly think that the Yonko are way above them, right? I mean, Mac, you just said it, like Brook stood up to Big Mom and stuff. I feel like, not to say that's a power scale equivalent, but I feel like that's a moment where if Brook can stand up to Big Mom, I don't see how he can't stand up to CP0, even the elite. So
I agree wholeheartedly.
Big facts.
One of the homies in one of the discords, I was reading through the manga chat for One Piece, trying to see if I can find something, and they said that chapter 931 is where Sanji wears the raid suit for the first time, and chapter 1031 he destroys it.
Yeah.
Yo,
really?
Is a fucking
Oda
god.
does that all the time, man.
Yeah,
he loves his numbers, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
kind of sad he broke.
I was running through thinking maybe someone. What?
I like the red suit. I'm sad that he destroyed it.
I mean, I'm sad it's gone because it was a nice little power, but I think Sanji can make the best of working with it.
Yeah, I'm actually glad he got it. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Like what it means for his character is just sick, right? Like he's not like relying on his family, right? What were you gonna say, Callie?
I couldn't see him doing a fucking Power Rangers power up every time the fight got serious and shit. Like
it was sick though. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it a lot. It definitely was dope, but it was sick.
I couldn't see it consistently.
Usopp would have added to it too.
Facts. That's
actually a good point. That would have been interesting to see if they did some contraptions to it. Maybe took some of Judge's tech or whatever from the suit and implemented it into their own stuff. That would have been interesting.
Do you guys think that could still happen possibly? Like maybe something shredded from the raid suit?
No, that's
just like they gotta pick it up and shit.
That shit is exploded, bro. That shit is in fire on the ground right now. So
I just wanted it to happen, like Frank and just Usopp just like tinker, like
that'd be sick. Man, that would be sick.
Crazy opportunity, but I guess I have some hope to it, but he just like destroyed it, like dang.
Also, real quick, Callie, if you could pull up the widespread from this chapter, because I think it's really important showing all the right-hand man.
I gotta get a picture of it.
Yeah, it's to the top.
Man, I'm really trying to make sense of Sanji hitting this woman. There is literally no sense at all about this. We went from a panel where he was fighting Queen, and then he's just there. That is. That I can't wait to see if next chapter gets explained. I'm so excited.
I got the widespread now. This shit is nice.
One thing that I found super interesting was the Shiroryu of the Rain being Blackbeard's right hand man.
I didn't think about that.
Was one of those.
Because Shuri Ryu is a new addition to Blackbeard's crew.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Got him in and built down. What I will say is that because Blackbeard has 10 ships in his fleet, right? And there's each captain of those ships is called a Titanic captain. We know that Burgess is the first Titanic captain. That's like
correct.
So is it surely like the number 2 guy in terms of like vice captain and the responsibilities, or is it strength? You know what I'm saying?
I think
nothing
personally,
about Blackbeard's crew. This is so
we don't know shit. We really don't know shit. That's true.
I think it's definitely strength, and the reason why I personally say that is because this chapter showing Shiryu means, like, to me, that Blackbeard values strength more so than like you know, how long you've been on the crew in terms of like
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
and especially if you also just think about it too, like how did he accumulate his crew? He went down to Impel level 5 or what was it, 6 or 5 or whatever.
He
Yeah.
went to the lowest
Went
one.
down there and he told them, "I want the strongest, so you all duke it out. Whoever like
Wins, come on.
clearly he wants the strongest."
They got the
So
impromptu
I
squid
mean,
game.
to be fair, that's one of the that's one of the smarter ways of building a crew or a team because I mean, technically, if everybody's strong, you can't lose. But
That's
you
true.
know,
And
and I mean
that's
that's
a
Blackbeard's
way.
character. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, he got a plan, and his
Exactly.
plan is going to work out. I don't know what fucking plan you got next, but I need to see that shit work out.
He's on the move. He's going. He's looking for something, right?
He's doing something devious, and I can't wait to see it happen.
The last thing we heard him say was, "If the Marines won't go after it, it's up to us."
Yeah. Very interesting.
So,
I really wonder what the fuck that was, man.
I know why as you were talking about the commanders, how Burgess was the first fleet commander, right?
Mhm.
So I was thinking that he was at first, but I think because of his failure at Dressrosa, from not getting the flare fruit, he lost that spot, and that's why Shiryu is the new
I think
right
that
hand
could be it, but
man.
I will also want to point out that right after fucking up at Dressrosa, he then gets on a ship and finds the revolutionaries' hideout.
True.
Which they didn't happen to be at, funnily enough, but he did find Baltigo, right? So I wonder, man. But yeah, like that could be it. We all know Blackbeard's a piece of shit, and we like Strawhat said he values strength and shit. So that maybe he did like raise Shiryu's level or drop Burgess after. So yeah, who knows? An interesting mystery is that there are 10 Titanic captains, but we only know 9 of them.
Really?
We only know 9 of them for sure.
We only know 9.
I think a lot of people thought maybe it was Aokiji since he was undercover, but I don't
imagine what
a
fucking twist.
That would make sense, though.
That would make sense, yeah.
That would be nuts.
I feel like that would go against the entire character order built up for him, but it would also be a crazy twist because
it would be like
of
a triple agent.
I think he's clearly undercover. Like, have y'all seen that? Have y'all seen that theory video from? I forgot what's that YouTuber's name.
Randy Troy, bro.
Yeah, Randy Troy's. Did y'all see that theory video?
No.
No, I'm gonna need that. I'm definitely gonna need that.
Okay, so I guess either I can link it or
yeah, I'll find it. You can explain it.
Yeah. But basically, that theory video is about like who is secretly in a sword, and the thing is that like the theory video is based around the fact that Law is secretly a sword member and working for the Marines actually, but and I know that may sound crazy to y'all right now, but the theory video is actually pretty good and it makes it a very compelling argument. And one of the things though is that Aokiji is actually undercover for Sword as well, because the whole thing is spearheaded by Garp. Garp is the leader of Sword, the true leader of Sword. That's why Kobe's in it. That's why Aokiji is secretly in it, because they have a connection.
Yeah.
And probably Law, but the whole theory is about why Law is specifically a part of Sword. But my point is that like if you believe in that theory and you believe that Aokiji is a part of Sword, then it could make sense to you how him being a Titanic captain doesn't portray his character because he's not truly on his crew in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So
that's very interesting. As we got the link in the chat, I am going to be watching this.
Yeah,
it's really good. I think there's 2 parts. I think there's 2 parts though. So like when you get done the first part, I go back to his channel because I think there's a second part.
There's a second part.
Chris 30. Yo, I love this kind of group.
Yeah, Randy's a 60, but I gotta give him big.
I mean, that would fall under his character. It's like following Corazon's footsteps,
I gotta give a huge shout out to obviously my boy Hemar, Toronto gang, Ontario gang, but my boy DS bro, my One Piece actually buddy, my road dog. Nice to see you in chat, man. Nice to see you in chat.
Gang out here.
Dog.
I think that's pretty much it for our Strawhat Sitdown episode 2. You guys had any last comments, theories, anything you wanted to talk about before we shut it down?
Yeah, one more thing. Since in the chapter 1030 and 1031 we got Momo and trying to lift up Onigashima, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's her face? Yamato's trying to disarm the bombs, right?
Mhm.
Do you guys actually think that Onigashima will fall, or do you think that Momo's gonna be able to successfully save them?
I think he's gonna fall, and Yamato's just gonna disable the bombs. I think that's the
Yeah,
situation we're in.
because I feel like
Because
I'll
I
just give
feel
my
like
opinion real
if
quick.
Momo's like second or third feet as a dragon is I held up all of this island, nah, that seems a little bit of a stretch for
A
like
little bit.
his strength in comparison. Even though he's what,
But yo,
how much older? Like 20 years, I
20
think.
years.
Yeah, but that's a
He's
little tough. He
exactly
has no experience
20 years,
using
so
that
he
power.
should be
So
28 years old in
Yeah.
like body and physicality.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's
What
28.
I will say is that though, consider that even if it doesn't blow up, that's still a massive loss of life.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
They don't have time to evacuate,
But I
right?
was gonna say they I think they specifically stated that there's not enough time to go back and
Like, he
evacuate
has
everybody.
to, like
No,
he
yeah.
literally has to stop it, or it has to be stopped. Although Kai, I think an interesting thing could be maybe if Act 3 was gonna end in like a shocking way, it could be it falling, and that's all we see. But then we go back to the real action, and we see that somehow it didn't like completely fall or whatever. Because
Mhm.
I know a lot of people think the raid's gonna fail or there's gonna be a huge tragedy. I cannot picture Wano Capital getting fucking annihilated. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I think
the
part of
whole
it.
That would be
Part
so
of it will.
crazy, man.
That would be.
I think low key, I like the raid failing theory, but that's because like, I'm into the dark shit.
What I will say is that
Yeah,
because one thing
Man
about the
said-
raid failing idea,
Emo kid.
one
Yeah,
thing
man
about
said I'm into nefarious acts.
It's a
the thing
nefarious act.
about the raid failing theory is
boy.
that the Straw Hats have had no personal connections, no struggles, you know what I'm saying? But we're getting a bit of that with Sanji, right? We're getting
Yeah.
that maybe what happens with Robin in Season 0. So like if we're getting more of that, then I think the raid could continue and go well. But I do understand the raid failing ideas and how like Wano has just been straight ups, or the raid has just been nothing but ups and ups and ups. Like there's been no huge tension or like an atmosphere of being anxious about what's gonna happen. Because
Yeah.
if you reread Dressrosa,
Yeah,
if you reread
sure.
Impel Down, Punk Hazard, all like Whole Cake, especially when you reread Whole Cake, like it's a palpable feeling of like, oh shit, what's about to happen? Like
Yeah.
this shit is actually on the
That,
head.
yeah, that hasn't. That
I
hasn't
actually
happened
agree
Wano
with
yet,
that
doesn't
with
right?
feel
Whole
like
Cake a lot,
Luffy
but
has
yeah.
been Luffy has just been chilling, like he's smiling the whole time fighting Kaido and whatnot. So
All right, we can't act like Luffy ain't get his shit rocked in.
he got
thrown
absolutely
tossed
drunk.
off the
Luffy,
ocean.
That shit rock like a clean 5 times. So.
yeah.
I
Yo, I
also,
just want to point. I just want to point out just one thing. If the raid does fail, and it fails because Luffy couldn't hold up, this will be the first time in the series that like someone has three-peated Luffy. Like, and that would be insane. Like,
I
that's
mean,
never
look,
ever happened.
Kaido would be the one and only man to do it.
And I think honestly they're setting it up so that this is the last fight. They're talking about how much weaker Kaido's getting.
yeah,
Mhm.
Do you guys actually think that he's gonna beat Kaido?
yeah, I think.
I
So.
think they're setting it up like that. They're giving him the. I don't think he's Kaido's level, but I think they're giving him the out in that. Oh, Kaido's been weak. He's fighting mad
Yeah,
niggas. Which
he's been fighting all
you
day.
see that, but I don't see how it doesn't end in him beating Kaido. And another thing that's that makes me think that this is the last thing that's gonna happen. This is the last battle that the Marines are waiting outside.
Yeah.
Yo, Zoro fan club member tapping in. Zoro's gonna kill Kaido next chapter.
Oh, brother.
Well, if you've been following more,
Oh, brother.
if you've been following more just content and about how he feels about the raid fail, he posted a video about like why the Navy is there in the first place, and he believes that if the raid does fail, that's the whole reason why the Marines are there, to take away from Kaido from just killing the Straw Hats and the whole alliance,
That's
because
true.
Marines will just jump in at that point. Not intentionally to save the Straw Hats, but to run interference to take
over.
Kaido.
Yeah, to take one of the Yonkos.
The thing is that the reason I don't really think that's gonna happen is because what they said was that in the event that Kaido loses,
Yes.
step in and annex Wano.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Morge did make, and keep in mind, I don't necessarily believe that the raid is failing, but he does make a compelling argument that even because he has brought that up, like people are saying like the Marines specifically said we're not going to interfere unless Kaido loses and stuff, and that could be true. But do we really take the Marines' word that they won't interfere because they have technically broken their word by being at Wano in the first place? Because they said at the big Yonko bounty reveal that, it would be a mistake to go to Wano, but it was heavily implied that it might happen that they go to Wano, though,
But
even though they were like, we should kind of chill on Wano or whatever. So they obviously will go back on their word if there's a special reason or something
yeah, but
like
the thing
that.
is, like, to me, it seems like they've illuminated the reason, right? Like, the Straw Hats look like they have a real chance at this, right? And another reason why I want to say that I would believe them is because that was correspondence between two CP0 agents, Why would he give him, like, a false directive? I know it's not false, I just can't find a real word for what I'm trying to say, is that why would he give him something that's, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Circumstantial, or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if conditional is the better word. Why would he say, if Kaido loses, we're gonna do this, and then change it? He's talking directly to another, what's it called, ally, right? That's why I want to believe it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but what is okay? But here's the thing: I can see now. This is my personal speculation. What if Kaido, like, Luffy does really well this fight, but barely loses against Kaido, and CP0 reports that, okay, listen, Kaido won, but he's really freaking down. I think we can, like, do something here. Like, so I feel like that would be a thing where they could be like, okay, you know what? Let's invade. Like,
to step in,
yeah, like I could see
That could definitely be a thing. I could see that happening, but I wouldn't like it too. But I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because then that kind of goes back to, like, the theory we were talking about last episode, where the Marines can just step in and take credit for whatever happens in Wano. So, or at least that provides, like, another point to that. That at this point, if we end up in the situation Straw had just described, where Kaido is just really beat up, but Luffy still loses, the Marines could just walk in and take credit for Kaido losing, opening Wano to the people, this, that, and the third.
Yeah, we talked about that in the first episode.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this: who's there on the Marine ships?
We don't know. We don't know.
Now there's got to be an admiral. One of the
Yeah,
admirals.
I completely agree with that. I think that.
Yeah, we
I-
talked about this
Akaino's
last
gotta be
time.
there.
Akainu, chill.
Ships are waiting.
It's also
Or,
possible
the
it could
other
be
one.
the new guy too.
Yeah, I think
Green
Green Bull.
Bull,
Green
baby.
Bull.
Green Bull.
There's no way
Yeah.
Akainu comes,
Waiting.
bro. There's no way Akainu comes, bro. That's crazy.
You don't think Akaino's going?
No way, bro.
See, he better not show up.
That guy's an end game thing, bro. Like,
Fuck a Kite.
Yeah, I would be super surprised if
Luffy has to
didn't
get his
show
fade
up.
with that nigga, bro. There's no way
Oh,
he's here.
yeah.
No, 100%. They definitely need to
So
run
yeah,
back.
I think
You
it'll
know,
be
the moment he sees him, it's
on site. It's on site.
It's on
site. If he's fucking with Kaido, he'll fuck with the Akainu. He doesn't care.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm so excited for post Wano, man. The Straw Hats are going to be a force to be reckoned with after Wano.
Do y'all think that this is gonna be like, we're gonna see the end of Act 3 maybe soon, and that we're gonna leave Wano and go to other places soon?
I don't think we're gonna see that for a while. I think Act 3 isn't gonna be the end of the raid or Wano.
But between acts, didn't we always leave? If I'm not mistaken.
No, it was only between Act 2 and 3.
2 and 3?
Yeah, that was the only time.
Okay.
We're also not sure how many acts they're gonna be because
people think like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
I'm betting on 5 minutes.
So people are saying that this arc is based off of the Japanese play, the Kabuki, which is generally 5 acts.
Yeah.
So people are speculating that we're gonna have 2 more acts after this, but in most Western culture, we have 3 acts, right, of anything.
Yeah.
So for all that we know, this could be the end, and it could literally just wrap up in the next 5-10 chapters. You know what I mean?
100%.
I don't think so.
You think Oda would base this off of a Western play though?
No, exactly.
Yeah, right. It wouldn't make sense.
We're deep into the what? What happened? All right. Well, Kite just disappeared.
Maybe
so
like that.
Watch the Discord in case he gets.
Yeah, just let me know if he comes back.
Yeah.
Got you. Damn, that made me lose my whole train of thought.
Not like this.
I think we're still like on track to follow the 5-act plan, because at this point I'm pretty sure that's what we're following. So I think we'll definitely get 2 more acts out of this arc, especially in this situation. Like,
so we're definitely not leaving Wano anytime soon. I think we still got a lot more Wano to go. I'm looking forward to it though, because this has been like one of the best arcs so far, and it's only getting better.
I think it's undisputed.
How long Marineford was?
Yeah.
Is it and there's still so much that we still haven't uncovered yet and addressed in Wano. So that's why I don't think this is the end personally. I mean we still need to talk about Zoro's family lineage. We still need to talk about that poneglyph.
I was in the basement that Law found. Yeah,
because they'll be like the fight, the rage, right, and then all the things that has to happen afterwards.
Toki, we still haven't figured that out yet. Like,
we have to know who healed the scabbards.
Yeah, that
person in the room. Yeah,
that was crying.
Toki,
Iori or Toki, probably.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't Toki, I still feel like Oda would probably need to address Toki anyway because she's kind of too important. I mean, wasn't she living during the Void Century?
She's from 800 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so like I feel like she needs like a more like in-depth ness about her backstory and stuff. And then there was all those theories about like maybe she's still alive because of the her coming from the future. And I know for a long time people thought maybe Odin was still alive and stuff like that. I mean, I think it's clear now that he's dead, but there's just so much in Wano that we still need addressed. So I don't think it's coming to a climax here.
To answer your earlier question, Mr. The wiki says Marineford was 31 chapters, and I think the raid has been like 60 or almost so.
So
that's just the raid, right? That's just like Act 3
or whatever. That's not even the whole entirety of Wano.
That's not even the whole entirety of Act 3, because Act 3 started with the flashback.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right.
But that shit, we had like 20 chapters of the flashback before we even got into the raid.
Oh no, but the Act 2 ended with the start of the raid because they were on the beach.
No, but the raid.
Because post Act 3, post like the post flashback has been like 60 chapters. Is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, 100%.
But yeah, it's actually been ridiculous, and yeah, man, Wano's crazy.
Wano is goated, baby. Best arc so far.
And no break this week. We got a chapter.
Mac, is this your?
Are you sure? Are you sure, Mister?
Yeah, it didn't say in the official translation. It would say if there was a break.
Yeah, I just don't want to have hope and have it crushed, you know.
What'd you say, Ahmad?
I'm looking at it again.
Oh, I was asking, is this like right now your favorite arc?
Oh yeah, hands down free.
Okay,
I don't want to say best arc because I feel like it's still too early, but it's my favorite arc so far.
Wano's my favorite arc, but I don't think it's the best though.
Okay.
Really?
Well,
I don't think it's the best. I think Water 7 is the best. That's all.
I can respect that. I can respect why you would say that.
Because Water 7, like to me, the cracking of the Straw Hat, like as a collective, and how it was all going, that shit, like the tension in that arc, it was a masterpiece, bro. I think Wano is like my favorite. It's fucking sick to see, and I've been caught up for it, so it's probably a different feeling. But I don't know. I think it's missing maybe like people say it's missing a bit of tension, like maybe like just some lows to fight back from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why Morris thinks the raid will fail.
I was gonna say earlier, it's because most of the time the Straw Hats are like running away or like just helping people. This time they're actually on the offensive.
Yeah, I get it.
They're going at it. Like they want to fuck people up.
They took the fight to them.
Yeah, but they made the Toby Robo look weak in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
They definitely did.
But I feel like that was the goal, at this point in the narrative. Like the Straw Hats have taken their licks, they've gone through the power-ups, they've done everything already, you know what I mean? So I think bringing out the Topi Ropo and then defeating them so easily was to showcase how far they've come and how strong they've become, you know what I mean?
I could get that, yeah. But first, I think if they had if you look at Whole Cake, for example, we got a huge view of how strong the commanders were, or the Sweet Commanders or whatever. Cracker was the first person Luffy fought, and he wouldn't have won without Nami, if I remember.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
We have a sick view of how strong they are, and Katakuri versus Luffy, we saw how strong Katakuri was. I think if they had built them up a bit more, that would be dope. But it kind of felt like they came out of nowhere just to lose. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in my personal opinion, I think some of the Toby Ropo did get washed, but I feel like personally it feel like kind of justified for some of them.
Jinbei was a mismatch.
That wasn't fair. That was literally a mismatch.
Yeah, like
like
Jinbei,
Jinbei is like Sanji tier. I like that nigga is actually too strong,
Yeah,
bro. Like he's
he literally should. It should be the monster quad now. It shouldn't even be the monster trio, to be
yeah,
honest.
like
True,
he's
it's true.
so
fact.
that was a mismatch. Robin had a sick fight. I will give it to Robin. I also
Yeah.
thought
She did.
Frankie's is
Yeah,
pretty cool too.
and
Actually,
then if you think about Ulti, technically Ulti went through
I think Ulti's
ringer.
the strongest. I think Ulti's the
Yeah,
strongest.
yeah, I
Ulti was
agree with
OD.
that too. Ulti is the
Ulti
strongest in my
ate a
She,
punch
opinion.
from Big Mom.
bro, she was getting fucked up the entire raid, bro. She
Yeah.
fought
Yeah,
Luffy
like
Yeah.
for
she
a
was
little bit.
dealing,
Like
she dealt with Luffy, she dealt with Yamato, she dealt with Big Mom,
she
and then like
ate a special beam cannon from Big
yeah,
Mom, bro.
Yeah,
yeah,
literally.
like she is. I definitely think Ulti is the strongest, but yeah, she dealt with a lot. So for
It
Nami
took
to
two
come in
straws.
and kind of do
Yeah.
that, like I don't have a problem with
I
that.
wouldn't even fully
that's
give it to
true.
Nami. I mean, she did
Yeah.
give the finishing blow and a majority of a lot of the damage, but I would give it to Nami and Usopp. I would say as well as both of their win.
Yeah,
To be
definitely.
honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, like
Yo,
I love
fucking-
Wano though. It's my favorite arc for sure, 100%.
But I think Frankie had the easiest fight.
I don't know, man. That guy destroyed his fucking mech already. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, okay. It wasn't the easiest fight, but it was the most like. It was very, very straightforward.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it
think
was
compared to every Straw Hat,
straightforward.
I think compared to every Straw Hat that was in a fight, his was definitely the one that was the easiest. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I liked it though. I'm not gonna lie.
Fight.
I really liked the fight. I thought it was like funny to read. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? With like
Most definitely.
yeah, like his fucking thing started spinning like a
Yeah, it
helicopter.
started spinning. Yeah, that shit
And
was
the ending
hilarious.
part was sick, where like
That
he
shit was
like he
funny.
thought he beat him, and then he's unconscious, and then he like wakes up and he goes back at Frankie, and Frankie finishes it. I thought that shit was dope. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
it was cool.
dope. That
It was
shit was
sick. It was
Yeah,
sick.
and then so yeah, like you know, and now looking back, it is they actually have been pretty good. And I think this is another thing, like reading it weekly, bro, doesn't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Until you can look back at it and appreciate what you gained from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
And wait, what happened to Page One again? He got knocked out by Big Mom.
He got one page one. No, I got one shot by Jinbei.
Oh yeah.
He got one shot. He got literally.
Page one is who's who, right?
Oh, page one. Excuse me. Sorry, I was thinking about Musu.
Who's who is
Page one got one shot too, though, by Big Mom.
Yeah. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Who
Sorry,
was
Blackhawk
got knocked out by Big
Can't
Mom?
hear you. It looked like Blackhawk was talking and we couldn't hear him before.
So Jinbei was not playing with me. Jinbei was about business.
Yeah, Jinbei fucked that nigga up. Who's who? Yeah, and page one ain't a conqueror's hacky attack, so tough, bro. Yo, she broke his fucking neck, bro. That's what it looked like, at least.
Yeah, it did.
Very
Yeah,
unfortunate.
man.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah. Sheesh. It's been mad sick.
Gotta love Wano, man. One Piece
Yeah,
is One Piece.
ridiculous,
Gotta
man.
love
I
this
definitely
shit.
will
was
say
so tough,
Wano
man.
has like some of the most hypest moments of all of One Piece. Like
So far, yeah.
I would
Without a doubt.
definitely like.
Without a doubt.
I think
There's
that's
so
why
much
it's
stuff
also.
packed in.
Like, we've been getting bombshells after bombshells after bombshells after bombshells of
Yeah.
like info dump and like just feats and stuff like that. Wano has been very hype.
Think
Would
about
y'all say it's like on the same tier as Marineford as far as like hype and like?
Definitely. There's no question of that.
I don't know.
I
Man.
agree.
They revealed some crazy
I
shit.
think it's already like passing Marineford.
I don't know if past. I kind of have them at like the same like tier. Wano has to end, and then I have to be able to read it from start to
Well,
finish.
that's why I said it's to
give
me
that.
it's passing, like because it's still not
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
Like,
That's
The roof piece was like epic. That
Yeah.
was so
The
freaking
rooftop fight
epic.
was sick, but I struggled to put it past Marineford just because like they showed some crazy shit about Ace being Goldie Roger's son.
that
And
shit
then
was
Blackbeard
crazy.
taking Whitebeard's fruit, Whitebeard and Ace dying, Shanks pulling up in the end.
That shit.
Yeah,
I think
Marineford
Marineford kind of has some shit. Is all I'm trying to say. It kind of has some shit, but I do think
It did.
Wano has been crazy. The raid, especially. Kite was saying Sanji moment was the best chapter in Marineford, the best part. I definitely beg to disagree. I think although that's probably top 2 or 3. I think Luffy and Zoro using Conquer Saki on the same chapter was fucking ridiculous. 10-10.
that shit was nuts.
That's
That
what
shit,
too.
bro.
That shit
I
was
read
off
that
the wall.
chapter, and when
I
Luffy
forgot all
finished
about
it,
that.
when Luffy finished it by saying, "Leave it all to me," like you all go downstairs. I got this, bro. I threw my fucking headphones off, bro. I was so lit. I was so fucking lit.
You know that moment for you. That moment for me was when they first got up there and Luffy just walked past Kaido.
Oh, that was chapter 1K. That was chapter 1K. That was chapter 1K.
He smacked him down, and then the very next panel when Kaido looked at Luffy and said, "How high is your potential?" And he was comparing him to Whitebeard, Gold Rock. I'm like,
OD,
Luffy made it.
Yeah.
My boy, it came a long way from the boy in the barrel, man.
Yeah, it's
True.
shit, yeah. To
Came
me,
a long ass
that made it
way.
moment to me was him cracking the sky with Kaido.
Yes, when
Yeah.
they clash.
Like
Yeah.
That shit was beautiful,
like,
man.
Hold on, do you hear the moments we're listing right now? That's crazy. Yeah, this is
Godlike.
this is over Marineford.
This is my goat.
Wano is definitely up there. It's definitely up there. I don't know where I would personally put it quite yet, but it's definitely, it feels like a top 3 arc, like undisputably, almost. Like, it feels like it at least. So we'll see how it turns out.
100%, 100%.
Isn't Wano the arc where we finally got an explanation as to why certain niggas' weapons don't clash at all? Because it's just their hockey clashing.
We learned about it.
And when we see Luffy and Kaido do it after we get the this is man
ridiculous.
Nah, it's undefeated. It's undefeated.
Well, we got the
one of the start.
Gotta love this story, man.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Let's shut it down though. We've definitely been talking for like hour 45. We've been out here.
Yeah, we sitting at just below 2.
Yeah. We definitely went through a lot today. Thanks to everybody that tuned in. Appreciate everybody in chat that hung out. You know, stayed from the raid, subbed, all that good shit. All right. Anybody got any last words, questions, comments, concerns, anything?
Thanks for coming,
that left some more explanation afterwards, so maybe we should just cut it.
All right, yeah, because that's definitely how we ended up for another 30 minutes, because I asked that shit last time. All right, guys. So next time, we'll review the next chapter. We'll get more into more One Piece lore. Now, I mean, hope you guys enjoyed the show. And that's it. Till next time, take it easy, be safe, be healthy, and we will see y'all when we see y'all, all right?
Peace.
Peace.
All right, peace out, guys.
Y'all be safe.
Nice. Good shit, guys.
Nice, man. Thanks for having us, Cali, as usual, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
Work.
That was mad fun. I enjoyed that. I think that